you getting facts from some niggas who ain't facts. Only niggas talking crazy is the ones with no motion. Just like the kitchen sink talking crazy about the ocean. And when they mention me, all I'm hearing is emotion.
Stay away from people who's cool with people who ain't cool with you. They play both sides. Facts.
Shout out Hankin TV. If you ain't watching Hankin TV, then what you watching? Nigga, what you watching? If you ain't watching Hankin TV. You know what I'm saying?
Some brand new Crocs, but they pink though. Now they said the red one sticks, so drop them in a sinkhole. When I pull that 40 cal out his mouth, y'all call that nigga deep throat. Hankin cocaine still we finna make him stick to the G code. This nigga is guilty for putting the whole city in breach mode to get the C4 for this weak code. I'ma send a 223 straight through your people.
What's up, y'all? We back. Let me know if y'all can hear me. We got a dope guest tonight. If y'all haven't caught our first interview, make sure y'all go through and check out our first interview. Also, I got the links to her channel in the YouTube in the description of this video. So make sure y'all slide through there and show Miss Infamous Sylvia some love. Hey, Miss Sylvia.
Hey, Hankin, how are you?
I'm doing great. So, for the people who didn't catch our first interview, why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself to the people?
Hey, everybody. My name is Sylvia, also known as Infamous Sylvia. I am what you call a trial vlogger. I report trials from all areas. I started out working doing the federal cases, then I moved over to the state cases. And I just completed the YSL first half of the trial.
Okay, so how many trials have you actually covered?
It's quite a few. More than 10.
More than 10.
Yeah.
What was your first case?
I covered the R. Kelly case, both of them, the one in New York and the one in Chicago.
Right. Okay. So how did you get into covering cases? What made you want to do that?
Because the situation that I was going through, and then I decided that there's so much injustice in the justice system. And that's why I started covering cases, because I became intrigued. I always wanted to be a lawyer, but I don't like to read. I don't like to. I didn't want to do a long paper. But when I went to graduate school, I ended up having to do all that anyway. So.
Right. And you said due to something you was going through and then seeing the injustices. So far as you being inside the courtrooms and covering, have you been seeing the injustices?
Oh yeah. I seen that when you don't have money, you can be like dragged into something and you're just messed up. I was quoted a thing that a guy told me. He says he would rather be a rich, guilty person than a poor, innocent person.
Right. I got a saying I say too. I say I'd rather be on the streets broke than in jail rich.
Hello.
So what was some of the injustices you think you seen going through the R. Kelly trial?
I think because it was like the first trial was a RICO trial, right? And it was only one person. When you're a RICO, I thought it was got to be more than one person.
Right.
And majority of the people was given immunity, and he wasn't. So it was just, to me, it was such an unfair case. As far as I felt, mama should have been indicted, daddy should have been indicted, whoever else was supposedly allowed their young adults to. And then the story, they didn't give you the full picture of what the case was about in New York. Now Chicago was a little bit different, but the case in New York, they made it seem as everybody was underage, and that was not the fact.
Right. And then by you being involved, with going through the R. Kelly trial, the Cardi B and Tasha K lawsuit, and along with this YSL trial, what's your predictions? How you think the P Diddy trial gonna go? Not saying if he gonna be found guilty or innocent, but far as it being a circus with the media and stuff like that.
I think it's going to be one of those must see case type of thing because there are so many things that's out already. And to me, the public opinion already has him at a guilty stage. So I believe there's going to be a lot of like um, fake news coming out of the like social media and things like that. I believe there's going to be a lot of that.
Right. And by yourself being let's say like a courtroom blogger, keeping up with the court proceedings and stuff like that, do you feel like social media and the bloggers hurt cases?
A lot of time, yes, a lot of time because they're putting out some information. And one thing that really bothers me is because a lot of them are not in the courtroom. They don't know what's really going on in the courtroom. They'll take one little piece of something and add a whole bunch of stuff to it and make it not valid.
Right, most definitely. And that's what I've been saying about the Diddy situation. I've been saying there's so much stuff in the media and so much fake accusations coming out that they're gonna have to waste too much time digging in them than the real issue.
Yeah, you won't know until you go to court and sit there and listen to what's happening in the courtroom. Because
Right,
all of that stuff is salacious and they try to have clicks and views and they want people to just gravitate to the news just for views, just for that.
right. This right here is not a no shade to the YSL trial jurors. Once the trial was over and the jurors was able to speak, in your opinion, do you think that they were looking at social media during the trial?
You want me to be honest?
Yes.
I felt that they were looking at social media. And if they wasn't themselves, they had family members that was telling them.
Right. So you followed the trial for a very very long time. I remember we did our first interview. You said you was preparing to do that. You was preparing to do the YSL trial.
Yeah, I started during a time when no one was covering it. The news would put like little bits and pieces of what was happening, but I was there when they were doing pretrial motions and trying to get the trial to be taken off, and it took a while for that to even happen because even the state was trying to buy some time, and the judge basically said no because Steele had filed a speedy trial motion, and because they were no longer doing the COVID restriction, they lift off the because they had it where you couldn't file speedy trial because of the pandemic. So once they lifted that, that's when they had to go forward with the trial.
And that's something right there because we know we had the pandemic, and it seemed like should they have been able to get that off, saying you couldn't have a fast and speedy trial I mean due to the pandemic. It would seem like because as one of your rights to have a fast and speedy trial.
Yeah, but they were saying that this is something that they never experienced and they had to make this different protocol and changes. But I was at the federal trial during the R. Kelly trial, and it was during the pandemic, and they made some adjustment. It wasn't a lot of people in the courtroom because, they had the spacing. So everybody had to be like 6 feet from each other. So we had to do that during the courtroom, and that's why they didn't allow a lot of people. And then they had overflow for us. It was a couple of rooms of overflow.
Right. And then also by being so many defendants on that RICO case, did you imagine it was going to last as long as it did? Did you even think that when first going in?
I felt it was going to be long because it was so chaotic. It was chaotic from day one because originally there was 28, but then those that took the plea deal, like there was about eight of them, eight to I think eight, took the plea deal. and then it became about 14 people because some of them, the others were not found yet. Like they didn't have Winfrey, they didn't have Cobb, they were missing a lot. And then some of the other ones didn't even have attorneys, so they took them off because there was no attorney. And then it came down to about 14 of them. And during the 14, they started whittling away because you had one attorney that was arrested. Then you had another attorney whose father was sick and his client had to be taken off. Then you had another one where his client had some sort of relationship going on with the guard, one of the COs. He was taken off. So it was a lot of stuff. Then it came down to 6 defendants at that point.
Right, that's a lot of defendants. So, the people, us watching, we could definitely see the difference. But how was the difference in the atmosphere when the judges changed?
It was different. It was a little bit stricter when Judge Whitaker came in because she was very particular. She was very punctual, and she had a structure in her courtroom. So we went from like coming in at whatever time and court not starting on time till we get somebody that when she said 8 o'clock, you better be in there by 7:59, or she'll be starting. She don't care who's there or not. A couple of attorneys were not there, and she was ready to start.
Right, and could you tell like the how was like the difference between how Glanville was handling the case in Whitaker? Because it seemed like Glanville really was, to me, in my opinion, on the state side and wasn't really giving them the defendants a fair shake versus the way Whitaker was.
It seemed like he pampered and he did more for the state. He was more lenient with them. Even when they didn't produce certain things, he would just let them slide. There was a couple of times he tried to chastise them, but it wasn't even enough because he turned around and changed his mind later on. Where Whitaker, no means no with her. And she was like, they can't get it. Because remember when she removed the detective dentist and they tried hard to allow her to let them asking her to let them bring him back in. And she was like, no. She let them do their little speech and all that. And then after that, she was like, no. Which I like that about her. She stuck to her gun. If she said no about something, she stuck to it.
Right. And how was the courts treating the defendants?
As far as
Was they like kind of like prejudging them, or was they like really hearing the defense out?
the judge itself, or what do you mean?
You got bailiffs, other people in the courtroom as well.
The bailiffs was pretty okay, but they were a lot of them were starstruck to me. Um, and they were very like picky with us. Me, the media, they didn't want me to have that opportunity to be able to record. They really wanted me out the courtroom because they didn't like the fact that I was able to do the things that they wanted to do. They wanted to take pictures. They wanted to videotape. So for their family members, because some of them had kids who liked the celebrityism of Yak Gotti and Young Thug.
Right. And Young Thug, as him being as big as artist as he is it hard for you to believe like jurors wasn't aware of who he was?
Oh, they were aware. Yeah, they were aware who he was.
And do you think that played a part in how they viewed the case?
I doubt it. I really doubt it. I think from what I'm hearing and from their um, interviews and things like that, I think they really worked hard and not trying to see or try to use the evidence as their source. Which everything that we were saying on our podcast and our videos is what they were thinking as well.
Right. And we're gonna kind of skip around a little bit. And did
Mhm.
it surprise you when they found Yak Gotti and Shannon not guilty?
No, it didn't surprise me at all. And you know, the funny thing, I was fighting with the national news people because from day one, they would, I mean, rag me. They would just tell me, hey, you don't know what they have. They have a whole bunch of evidence because they were privy to some of the stuff that the state had. And so they would just tell me, oh, wait till this person come in, wait till this person come in. It's going to go down. And I'm like, okay, when that person got up there, I was like, what happened to the strong witness? Then they would say, oh, the next one coming up that they could do. I was like, okay. And each witness, they were having them to be, what do you call it? What's that word? What do you call when you t- impeach? They were impeaching their witnesses.
One of the things, me personally, I've been in trouble before. I've been in the courtrooms and people have the idea, lock them up and throw away the key. But I have to say, for this case right here, that the general public was definitely behind them.
Because the evidence wasn't matching what they were claiming in the beginning.
Now, and that's what I was going to ask you next. We've seen it on people watching it, viewing it. We've seen how the state was like putting a case together. We've seen the judge get on them a few times. How was that experience in the courtroom?
But at some point, it kind of got a little intense. You can feel the heat and it was like thick in there, and you heard the mood change. Like Steele, when I first met Steele, he was very, very like drool. He was very like warm and very inviting. But by the time the case went on, you saw he had so much like he was standoffish. He was kind of irritated by what was happening in the courtroom. He didn't. It didn't seem like it was fun anymore for him.
Right. And did it surprise you when Young Thug took his deal?
Yes, I didn't think he was going to take it. His family didn't want him to take it. Most people was like, no, he's not going to take it. Nobody thought he was going to take it. And then all of a sudden he took it.
Yeah, and I since it went over and they found the last two defendants not guilty. A lot of people saying he should have stuck in there. But even if he would have stuck in there, you think it still would have went the same way with him? You think he'd have been found not guilty?
Hmm. Yep, I would have. But I think others would have probably been found guilty because all the evidence wasn't pointing to him.
Right. Yeah, it was. It was definitely
But then he had a chance of like the gun charge, and he might have been found guilty on a gun charge. But the RICO and the gang stuff, no.
right. You definitely made a lot of acquaintances while you was going through that. I've seen you interview Adams, um Taisha. How did you get acquainted with Taisha?
I met her in the beginning because I was upstairs with the families, and I spent most of my first few weeks upstairs with them, and I would see them come in and out. I was the only one that was not part of the family. I was like the stranger, and most people kept looking at me and they were trying to figure out who I was. They thought I was a plant by the state. And Mr. Jeffrey's dad came up to me. I was standing by the elevator. And he asked me who I was. And then he asked me, did I work for the state? And I told him no. And then at that point, that's when I explained to him that I'm covering the case and I'm independent. And that's when he says, I need to speak to you. You're the person I need to speak to. So we exchanged numbers, and then that's how we all became acquainted.
Right. I had told you earlier when we first came on. I see you did a video today. And if y'all haven't checked it out, man, make sure y'all go over there and check it out. Explain to the people about the civil lawsuit that was just filed.
The civil lawsuit stems from originally, I found out that this attorney was hired back when Stillwell was first stabbed last year, but they didn't want to move forward until the case was over, and the case is over for Stillwell. So lawsuit has to do with the facilities nastiness, the treatment of the detainees in the jail, and also from the report that the DOJ did, and they found that the facility was not humane. It was something that's not good for those who are detainees, because they're saying basically detainees has a right, and their rights are being violated. Their Eighth Amendment and the 14th Amendment is being violated.
And before the trial, was y'all hearing stuff in the public about the conditions of the jail, or did this case like really shine light on it?
We was hearing that because it was people dying left and right in that jail. But because of YSL being in there, it was more focused. It was more driven, because you heard stuff that was happening when we were in the courtroom of the different defendant that was dealing with stuff. You had, I mean, it's not even spoke about. You had Mr. Nichols who got sick in there, and they did not take care of him. They did not give him medical treatment. You had, of course, you heard about Mr. Stillwell. You heard about Little Rod, his situation of him. There was a riot inside the jail. I mean, all the stuff that was happening, and then you heard about different POs, I mean not police officers, but correction officers having bringing in contrabands and all this kind of stuff into the jail. There was a lot of stuff happening.
Yes, it definitely was. Miss Sylvia, what do you call your supporters? You got a name for your supporters?
Infa family.
I want to thank the Infa family for coming through. I see y'all out there. Make sure I hit that like button. If y'all haven't caught the first interview I did with Miss Sylvia, make sure y'all go check that out. The watch. Let's talk about this missing watch that came up missing. So, how did you feel about the excuses they have been using about this watch?
I went and I did some of my own little digging. One of my mods had sent me the list from the court of what was reported by Veterino, however you say her name. In the list, she had signed off that the watch was accounted for. So from the time they put it on that paperwork showing that it's that they have it in their possession, and all of a sudden it's not there in the courtroom. So it's one of them took it.
Yeah, they definitely took that watch.
Hmm.
Um, so by you doing this, from my opinion, from watching, with a pure heart and for your own reasons, how do you feel when people attack you? I've been seeing you've been attacked, people stealing your content and stuff like that. How does that make you feel? Does that make you want to give up, or just make you want to go harder?
Some days I want to give up, and some days I'll go harder. And the reason why I'm able to go harder is because of my Infus family, because their support is so strong, and I appreciate every single one of them. They all we're like a little family in my chat. It's not like other channels to me. We're close, really close, and I've never met some of these people, but the support is so strong. Without them, I don't think it would be an infamous Sylvie, because I would have given up a long time ago.
Y'all be in there. They definitely be supportive.
Oh, I mean, when they find people attacking me, and they be like, I'll be like, guys, don't do it. Leave them alone. But they show me the love and this action.
I know I see you built a bond, a lot of lightweight relationship with Woody. Do you feel like the state felt like Woody was gonna be like they ace in the hole?
I guess so, but he fooled them.
Woody definitely
He
he
fooled
definitely did. I heard one of the jurors said when he had to take the scan again, they had to get rid of all their old notes. So how was that being there during the trial when you had to like kind of repeat some stuff? Was it like, oh man, here we go again?
I was like, come on now, y'all. Why are we doing this? And the thing is, the state did the same thing over and over and over. And I'm like, Lord, have mercy. I don't want to hear this. And there were a few times I just got up and it's like, okay, I'll see you guys in a few. I'll be back. It was repetitive and it was boring. It got on my nerve.
I want to ask you a question.
Mhm.
They always talk about how high the conviction rate is, and the reason the conviction rate is so high is because a lot of people, everybody take plea bargains. Do you
Mhm.
think this trial will encourage people to go to trial, take their case to trial more?
I think so. I think so, but they got to also understand they have to have strong, good attorneys. You can't go to trial with an attorney that don't care about a case, that just want to get it over with or take a plea deal. You have to have attorneys that really love what they do and want to fight for you. Not, and it's not about the money. It's about the justice. You know,
Um, and then by the trial lasting so long and you being there, what's one of the most memorable things you remember about that stuck with you from the trial?
the most memorable would be, I think, when Steele told Judge Glanville that he would want to go inside the cell with Jeffrey William. That was the most memorable. It touched my heart. I felt like, you know how that, you're watching a movie and you're like, oh, that type of thing. It's just like you saw the love that he had for his client.
Yeah, that definitely was. That was deep. That's one of the things that had caught my attention when he said, "If you lock me up, I want to be with Mr. Williams so we can keep working."
Yeah.
That definitely was dope. So how was the temperature and the mood in there? I heard people talk about how the mood was. What was the temperature and the mood like to you in there?
It was hostile at certain time. It was hostile. It was and there was a lot of sneaky stuff. um to me, my with the stuff I experienced, I felt the negativity towards me, and that came from the deputies. Not all, because there were some wonderful deputies. I'm not going to say all of them were like that, but there was some that was there, and I felt you couldn't trust none of these people. You couldn't trust them at all.
Right. Do you think some of the hate because came because people seen how dedicated you were, and most time when guys is going to court and going through trial, people leave them for dead.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is because they knew what I was saying. I was going to come back to the people and tell them the truth, the facts. And they didn't like that, because if I saw somebody had on green shoes, I'll go and say, hey, that person had on green shoes. Where the news people wouldn't even find that as something that to tell about. But I was telling everything. If I saw Love grabbing Hilton arm, or if I saw Hilton crying, if I saw Hilton going between the two doors yelling at some, I was telling it all. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that. They didn't like they would be like, oh man, there go Miss Sylvia. We can't say anything. She'll put it on the news about it. That's what they were. They felt that way. And I was telling everything. I was telling.
Right. And how did you feel about the state's closing argument?
I felt that who did they just brought in here? Because that wasn't the Hilton that I know. Because it's just she seemed like she took on a different personality. She was yelling at them. She was acting very hood, and I'm like, okay, who is this woman?
Yeah, she did definitely get out her character.
She did. She did.
And we're gonna go back when the I don't want to say the wrong words. So I'm gonna say back when they had that the meeting with Woody, and the defense didn't know about it.
Ex parte.
Ex parte, there you go. I was gonna call it parte, the ex parte.
Ex parte.
So they kind of explained to us what it was. We seen what happened. How did you feel about that when you had heard about it? Did you feel like it was wrong?
No, what happened to have an ex parte is not illegal. What happened is because he was a sworn witness at the time. But they, even that part, they said that was not the wrong part. The wrong part was when Judge Glanville tried to, I guess, argue it when he could have just like left it alone, and he kind of messed himself up. But some of the things that came out of it was something like, okay, why are we talking about this? It was kind of different.
Right. And then by you being there and having more insight of what happened, do you think they was trying to intimidate him?
Intimidate Woody?
Yeah.
Woody? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think, because Woody was very, very smart. He was smart. He outsmarted them.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed and I've spoke on my show. I tell the people a lot that he definitely smart. He's smart. He definitely made it work in his favor. He's smart.
Very smart. And he's people don't understand because I've been to church with him and I've seen him, and I believe God is using him mightily. A bad situation, God turned it around for the good. And I believe if it wasn't for him, a lot of stuff that was being exposed would have not been exposed.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't. Do you think the outcome would have been the same if Glanville would have stayed the judge?
Heck no. Heck, I don't think it would have been a guilty verdict, but I think it would have been a hung jury. It would have been something they're going to redo again because Glanville would have let a lot of things slide in.
Yeah, he definitely was. It was babying him. How did you feel when you heard when the jury's in deliberation and they asked for the tape and they wanted it in reverse and they wanted the rap song? How did that? What did you think when you heard that?
I was like, okay, the juror is thinking like us, y'all. They thinking like us because I remember one of the persons that was I think on X, they were talking about the video going in reverse and they said they tried it. And I'm like, did the juror listen to that? Did they hear the person do that? And I'm wondering, how did they know to do it that way?
And that's what I was going to ask you about. Was they looking at social media when they asked to see that video in reverse?
Hello. Hello.
Besides Woody's testimony, um, the not lacklustrous job that the prosecution was doing, what are some other things that who are some other witnesses you think that helped them, that helped the defense?
I think Bennett helped, the young lady. I think she helped, as well as even what's his name? One of the DA. What was his name? The DA, the guy. I felt he the one that was looking at his computer. What was his name, y'all? Come on, help me. What was his name? The one that was looking at the computer.
Oh, Info family.
Help me. Come on, y'all. Help me. The one that was looking at his computer. I think his testimony kind of helped the defense. Because Sprinkle, thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Nona. Sprinkle basically helped put a nail in that coffin because he was saying certain things and it was like, dude, do you know whose side you're on? You helping the defense. What's going on? So, especially when he was talking about when Detective Hogan or Investigator Hogan didn't look at certain things and would he have looked at it, and I'm like, Lord, he is helping them out.
Yeah, one of the things that kind of caught my attention here at the end is when I'm called her Vivera, when she was saying how long she had been investigating the case, but she didn't have no record, no notes or nothing about the tap phone calls that she heard. I believe that's when one of the attorneys asked, like, they didn't have no paper, no pencil in there, no Windows programs or nothing. That was it was. This is one of the things people saying is, and I'm starting to agree with it. Um, to a certain extent, that they was really trying to rob Thug because they thought he wasn't gonna get out of it, and we seen how some of his stuff came up missing.
Yep. Yep.
And it
And
is.
no, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
like, here come all the lawsuits. The lawsuits, you're gonna see them coming left and right. It's gonna be boom, 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 boom. Because they lost. Now some of these defendants can go ahead and do the lawsuits.
Right. And how do you feel about them kind of amending his probation stipulations by allowing him to come back to Atlanta after 3 years?
I think it's a great deal because he has a lot of family here, and they have a lot of social gathering. Because I'm telling you, when I was during the case, I was invited to so many things, you know, even when his sister passed away, their family is so close knit that they do a lot of things together. And for him not to be able to come back to his hometown, it seems so unfair.
Right. And would that have made it would it have made it made you look biased to the people if you had attended to any of them events, or you could have done that?
I think people already said I was biased, but I think it would have been they would have thought more biased than that. But the only thing I did attend the funeral, and because it was to show respect for his
Right.
family. I had met his sister. She was one of the first individuals I met during the trial. And when she passed away, it was something that was like, oh wow, I wouldn't be able to see. And she was very, very friendly when I met her.
Yeah, that definitely was sad. Um, and I definitely can relate to how Thug felt going through that, and anybody else who loses somebody while incarcerated. Because while I was incarcerated, my mom had passed. Did they allow him to go to the funeral?
They allowed him to do the wake, but not the funeral.
Wait, right. And could you tell how was the atmosphere in the court after that news had came out that she passed?
You could see he was hurt. He was sad, just like when Shannon's mom passed away. He was sad. Every single one of them have been dealing with something, you know, family members being ill and things like that, and they was thinking about their family members, and that's one of the things that one of the reason why Jeffrey decided to um, go ahead on and take this plea because his children were being affected by everything. It's been so long, and he didn't want to wait not a minute longer. And he had an opportunity to go home. He took it.
And one of the things they had said is when he took that deal, he didn't know what the judge. They didn't know what the judge was going to do. They didn't know if the judge was going to let him out or not. When he took the plea, did you feel like he was going to get out, or y'all didn't nobody know?
No, I felt the judge was going to let him out because she's very fair. She's very, very fair, and she saw the unpreparedness and the state case was just being thrown together, and she didn't feel that it was concrete. I think it would have been, even if it was one bench trial, I think the judge would have gave it the same way that she gave it now. And even when the the state tried to give more time to Shannon for the 10 years recidivist repeat offender sentencing, what did she do? She gave him 2 years and then the
Right,
rest on probation. So
right. Because everybody know when you go to trial and lose, you're supposed to get the max. I mean, you're not supposed to. They use 99% of the time they give you the max.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But she saw the messed up case. She saw it.
Right. What was the temperature in the courtroom every time the defense found a motion for dismissal?
Like, come on, Judge. Why? And most people, even the people that are in the chat, they were like, they don't like her. They don't like her. But I mean, I felt different about Judge Whitaker. I really did. She, to me, I saw her as being the fairest judge between the two of them.
Yeah, she definitely was fair. She was. Um, I was gonna ask you another question. My opinion, I felt like the best thing for them two, all of them guys to do, is to get away from there because I feel like they marked. Any little thing they do, they gonna be on them. Do you agree?
I agree. I agree. And then with supposedly the war between them, Shell just got out. And they have him where he's banned from coming to Atlanta area as well.
So they ban. So this is my thing about the system. They banning these guys from Atlanta. I mean, if that's where your family at, what can they do? They kind of like put them in a catch-22.
Hmm.
Been in jail all this time, so a lot of them, majority of them hasn't been getting no income or nothing. So how they supposed to just uproot their life and not be in Atlanta if that's where all their family at?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's wild. Um, I was gonna ask you. I kind of asked you this earlier. Did it? Although the defense Although the prosecution's case seemed flimsy, did it surprise you to see that the public was behind them like that, though?
Was it a surprise to me or the surprise to the state?
Was it a surprise to you to see how much the general public was rooting for him?
I wasn't surprised because I saw the conversation in the chats between with the people, and I saw it in other platforms, and it was all about the same across the page. Now, when they first started, now folks was like, "Oh, they going to jail. This is they guilty." Da, da, da. And then slowly, as the trial continues, then you start seeing a different conversation in the chat. So by the time at the end, I knew that the public saw it differently because they didn't see any real evidence to put these guys in jail.
Right. I see where somebody in the comments they had said losing family members is already an incredibly painful experience, and then to have it compounded by a legal system declaring someone not guilty can feel like an additional injustice. Yeah,
It,
it definitely did.
it does.
It's like I
And
go ahead.
mhm. The thing is that you can tell that, I mean, the family, like the Drinks family, even Mr. Thomas's family, you can tell the hurt and pain that they were feeling because out of all this time, they thought they had some hope of getting some closure to the um, the unaliving of their family member, and then to turn around and nobody is going um, to be held accountable for it, and that's what they felt. And then the thing is, Mrs. Thomas' mother still believed in the state, and I was wondering why she believed in them even after hearing what she heard. I don't know.
Do you feel like they lied to her?
I felt that they told her something that they couldn't cash.
Right. And I think that's because, like I said, people are so used to plea bargaining out. So they thought them guys was gonna plea bargain out. They didn't think they was gonna take it as far as they did, and they won. And as far as like the injustice of the system, I was saying, when I was incarcerated, I was allowed to work outside of the fence. I could go outside the fence and work, do work outside the fence in the community, but I wasn't allowed to go to my mom's funeral.
Wow.
And that's just, I'm so glad to see now here we are in 2024 that people are finally catching on and seeing the injustice of the system. Because a lot of the stuff that people were saying during the trial, I have been saying, we've been saying this for years.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think it definitely will help people in the future.
Yeah. But the good thing is the transparency and people being in the courtroom observing and giving their opinion and stuff like that makes a big difference because when all eyes is watching, I think they kind of do things a little bit better, right? But not all the time because the state will do whatever they want to do to get that win. But I think the cameras need to stay in the courtroom so people can get real, real, real justice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Real transparency.
Yeah, they definitely do. So you stood rooted for a thug the whole time. How you think he's gonna fare out?
I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, I do. I think he
He
do.
has a lot of support. He has Steele, he has Adam. Number one, those two, they're cheerleaders, and they are going to make sure he succeed.
Yeah, I hope. Well, I wish the best for him. I think he gonna make it too, as well as the rest of the guys. But like I said, as long as I think as they're around there, they gonna have a target on their back.
Yeah, yeah.
For the people out there that's interested in it and may want to do it, if you can, or if you want to tell them, how do they go about attending a trial, being a part of a trial like that?
Just show up. Just show up because trials are for the public. Anybody can come to a trial, any kind of case, and sit in the courtroom and watch. It is your right as a citizen of the United States. It is a right to be able to view exactly whatever trial. It could be a federal trial, it could be a big shot person's trial. You have the right to come into that courtroom and watch.
Right. And like I said, the people on that was watching when we seen how sloppy some of the stuff the state was doing. Could you see that on the jurors' faces?
Well, where no, let me explain something. Where I sit, I can see the jurors' movement, their body, and things like that. As far as the clear faces, I was able to see it when they let me sit in the middle. But then later on, they moved us to the side, and I can see. But by the time I was able to know, I knew who each juror was, but I was not able to see their facial expression. I saw body movement, I saw when they were shaking their head and things like that, but the actual details of their face, I couldn't tell.
Okay. And during that trial, did somebody put like, is it a Rule 21 or a Rule 22 they put on you?
No, Rule 22 is the form that you submit in to be able to record with some electronic device. That's what a Rule 22 is.
Okay, so somebody had put something on you to where you weren't able to record no more.
Yeah, they complained to the judge, send the judge emails, and I end up losing my Rule 22 because. But to be fair, I did violate some of the Rule 22's um, requirement because I was operating three cameras at the same time, and when the judge got off the bench, I still had one of my camera going and was one of the cameras that was live streaming, and I was capturing some of the stuff the state was doing, and the state was on my back. They were watching me left and right, and then I had other people who hate on me, and they reported me.
Right, but that was just like really like a mistake, like you was doing it on purpose.
No, but you know what? Part of when I did see the mistake that I did, I was glad I captured it because I captured some things on Love and Hilton. I think because I did that, that's what people where I kind of got upset about it because I was gloating about it that I saw it.
Look at Miss Sylvia. I remember the first time we did this, you kind of was just getting into it. You said you was in there working three cameras.
I was in it. Yeah, the first time when I was on your channel, I only had one camera in there. And then by the time I had like three different cameras, I had my phones. I was taking pictures. I have like so much footage for this YSL.
Yeah, you definitely did a good job. So this is the last thing I want to cover. I don't want to hold you up too long. Um, Tell the people about the situation today when Law and Crime they couldn't broadcast and they asked you about it and they asked you could they broadcast to your channel. That was kind of messed up.
Okay, what happened is they have an equipment called Live View. And Live View is where they stream, they take the video image from the camera in the courtroom and they send it out to all the other network. Because I'm independent, I was by myself. I have my own equipment inside the courtroom and I had my thing attached to the camera, the main camera in the courtroom. So their live view, um, I guess they've been using it for years. It just malfunctioned and it just kaput. And I had mine on. So what they did, they contact me and asked me, can I utilize it? Can they utilize my stream? They asked me to remove my watermark, and I said, okay, I would do it because to be nice to them. So I
Right.
removed my watermark. So when they got their equipment in, they said, okay, everything's cool, everything's fine. You can go ahead and put your watermark back on. So I put my stuff on, not knowing that their stuff was not working yet. And people happened to see me up on the screen. And when that happened, the whole channel in that room went crazy. Oh, she hacked into their thing, and they didn't even understand. I was helping them out. So they got upset because my face was on Law and Crime. They said I hacked into Law and Crime's live to steal their subscribers.
And the people didn't even know if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have been no footage that day.
Hello, and then the next day they asked me, can they use my stuff again? The first time day it happened, I was the only one working, and everybody's flocked to my channel. And then I end up finding who actually was using my stuff because when they flocked to my channel, my stuff was up there.
Right.
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask you one more question. You don't have to answer it. I just want to know what the temperature is. It's kind of controversial. I don't really get into controversy and the messy stuff. But as I say, if you don't want to answer, you'll have to. How was the temperature in the courtroom when the when it was, I guess, exposed that Shannon was supposed to be married to Caleb Bumpus?
You know, I was one of the ones that found out, right?
Right.
I didn't put it out. I did not put it out. But what happened is when I got the information, I started questioning. Before I put anything out, I wanted to question what was happening, and I questioned, and it got back to her, and she reached out to me, and that's history. That's when I asked for, because she said, do I have to pay you? And I said, yeah, $500. And I was joking, but folks took it seriously because I didn't ever put it out. But how did I feel? I mean, it
Not
didn't.
you. How was the temperature in the courtroom? Because the day that it had came out in court, it seemed like the judge mouth kind of dropped. 'Cause nobody in the courtroom believed it, although it had already been out on social media.
Yeah, the judge was like, are you serious, type of thing. She was like, because she felt it was messy. She felt it was messy, and that prosecutor, he was kind of messy putting it out like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. But is there anything out there? Tell the people about where they can find you, what you got coming up.
Well, they can find me Infamous Sylvia on every platform, X, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I will be covering Young Thug's brother's case, which is supposed to be coming up real soon. He is also charged with the RICO, and he is mute and he's deaf. So that's going to be an interesting case. I will be covering some other cases that's going on. I don't have the details of, but I will be sharing it later on with everyone.
Okay, I definitely
Oh,
appreciate
and Diddy, I'll be doing Diddy's case too. I'll be going to New York for that.
whose case.
Diddy's.
Okay, are you doing the Diddy case?
Hmm.
Oh, we got a part three coming up, y'all. That one right there gonna be that's gonna be a headache right there.
Yeah.
Oh, let me ask you one more question. So, with you covering that and having to go to New York, and that's gonna be a super huge case. Do you think you're gonna be able to get in the courtroom, or something you gonna have to do prior to that to get in there?
No, let me tell you something. As the public, it's going to be a lot of people coming up, showing up. You have to get up early in the morning for those cases. Because, like with R. Kelly, I had to get up like 4 o'clock in the morning. Court don't even start like 8. You have to get up early in the morning. So, and they're going to have overflow because of the case, the magnitude of the case. They're going to have overflow. You may not be inside the actual courtroom, but you'll get in the overflow. If you come early enough, you'll be in the overflow.
Okay, well, we definitely gonna be looking out for that, and I'm sure you still gonna be covering the civil lawsuit.
Yes, I am. I'm going to be covering that, definitely.
And do you think that Shannon and Yak finally gonna get a bond?
Oh, definitely. They're going to be out. They're going to be out. You can
Okay,
bet your bottom dollars on that one. They're going to be out.
most definitely. They already got found not guilty. It's all downhill for them now.
Yeah, because these other cases are free world charges, and there's already agreements made. Those things are already talked about behind the scene. It's just the judge has to agree on it. If the judge, and Judge McBurney, he is definitely a fair judge. And even Judge Belinda, she's a fair judge as well. So,
Okay. I appreciate you for coming through. I want to thank the
you're
Info family
welcome.
for coming through, supporting. Y'all did a great job, and you going live again tonight?
Yeah, because I have some things I have to bring up in regard to Eppinger and Fleetwood. I have those information to bring to my people.
Okay, I'll be through there. I got to go out here and shovel the snow. That's why I've been getting all these notifications.
Oh, it's snowing.
We got a snowstorm up here.
Oh, where are you?
I'm in Ohio.
Oh, I need to see some of that snow.
I'm gonna send you. You know what? I got a guy that stay down in Dallas, Terrence Gangster Williams. He told me to send him a video. I got a video for him. I'm gonna send it to your
Yes, please.
Instagram. I'm gonna send it to your Instagram DM.
Yes, please send it to me because I need to see it a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay, I got you. Also, y'all make sure y'all follow Infamous Sylvia. They got her page right there, and it's also in the description of this video.
Thank you, Hankin.
Okay, thank you. I'll be over there in a minute.
All right, hon. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. That was infamous Sylvia right there, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all slide through, check out her channel. She says she's gonna be covering the Diddy case, so there we go. My personal opinion, I think she did a great job. I think that take a lot of dedication to get up, especially when she said you got to get up so early in the morning and go down there. And she did a great job. Matter of fact, I think everybody who covered it, put their input on it, they definitely did a great job. But y'all make sure y'all go over there, man. Check her out. Keep up with the cases. For the people who like the court stuff, the justice stuff, I also got another show I do. It's called Tales from the Cell. It's where I tell my own prison stories. I did 15 years in prison, where I tell my own prison stories, and I also interview people who've done a lengthy amount of time in prison and got out and has become successful, or they're on the road to becoming successful. I got a guy coming up Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We gonna be hanging with American Felon. It's a guy. He got a YouTube channel. He did 15 years in prison. And he also interviewed other guys who have been incarcerated. So we're going to be hanging with him Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all come through and check that out. And if you haven't checked out any of my past interviews, make sure y'all check them out too. Also, we just hit 3K over here. So if y'all ain't subscribed to the channel, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I'm out. I'm gonna go ahead and give everybody like a definition of hanking. In Dayton, people selling drugs, they call it hanking. If a nigga was selling a lot of dope, they like, I'm saying, I'm hanking. Yeah. So what I did it took and put a positive spin to it, So I took the word hanking and I made it stand for when you can supply the demand and consistently turn a profit.
This is a certified hood classic.
We've been had money. Money ain't nothing without us being together. It don't make no difference if you the maid or if you the motherfucking bodyguard. Everybody get extras around here, friends benefits. Everybody travel from place to place and kick it with each other, and every place is like home.
Love Child got that sauce.
Let's get it.
Welcome to my city, Westwood, they know Ohio. Midwest players and hustlers, check the bio. They call me Hankin for a reason. If I said it, then I done it. I supply what they demand and make a profit from it. I'm in love with the game. Run, Hopper, Norris, Cole. Ohio players self-made. Jam City, we on gold. M-double-G, yeah, money go getters. Real niggas bout that life. Niggas can't up with us.
They call me Hankin for a reason. If I said it, then I done it. I supply what they demand and make a profit from it. They call me Hankin for a reason. If I said it, then I done it. I supply what they demand and make a profit from it.
I salute to all the us, Jay, Charlie, Bugs, and Round, Keith, Denny, Bert, Earl, the D-boys in the alleys, Chino and Lil J, J, Mac and Carleon, Stain, Key and Diamond Cut, DBM, you know we own. I used to cook the D, I did corn, shoot the 3 when he played for the Heats. Then I flooded the streets. Hustle gang, that's my squad, that's my motherfucking team. Just might be your worst nightmare or sell you a dream. We all about the money, up the system, they corrupt. Ain't no credit, straight cash, so I got my hustle up.
They call me Hankin for a reason. If I said it, then I done it. I supply what they demand and make a profit from it. They call me Hankin for a reason. If I said it, then I done it. I supply what they demand and make a profit from it.
Matter of fact, after you leave here, you end up getting your teeth on something and coming up with something better. You know what I'm saying? Like a new car, new house, maybe your kids get to go to school, private school, paid for, courtesy of the mom. You know what I'm saying? We pay. You know, that's simple. A lot of niggas don't like to spend their money. We love to spend our money. We can't take none of this shit with us. None. Ain't no armored trucks pulling up at no funeral. Simple.
My boy Hankin TV, that's my dog. He gonna be on the channel real soon. I think tomorrow, man. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Hankin TV, man. You feel what I'm saying? That's my boy. He put dope content over there.
You hate on a nigga. I don't understand why you hate on me, nigga.
We don't understand.
Show love, nigga. It don't show nothing. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
I was doing this getting money.
Show a nigga some love, nigga.
Wabbity dabble.
Niggas out here don't love me, nigga.
what people gotta really understand, nobody gotta support you, first of all. So I used to take that shit personal. I used to be like, damn, nobody's supporting me, nobody's playing my records, nobody's really rocking with me in the city like that. And then I realized it's not personal. You just gotta make somebody, you gotta make them a believer. If they don't believe you tomorrow, cool. Focus on who is rocking with you, and then you circle back and you come get them on the way back.
Hey man, this your boy Money Man Rado, man. You Hankin with Hankin TV, man. You know what it is, the biggest platform, man. They major.
What up, Willis Mac? Tell me something slick and make it stick. Man, you already know international best-selling author, the Forget Diamond, reality TV star, Queen's Court. Asking for a friend, man. Stop playing with me. Host of Cigar Chats with Mac. But listen, I'm here to talk about Hankin. I'm gonna be on Hankin TV. I'm gonna be Hankin with Hankin. I'm telling you now, you do not want to miss the game. I'm gonna be dropping on Hankin TV. Cause we can always supply demand, turn over a profit consistently. See y'all soon.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Kendra Rainey King, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. By the way, Pleasant Grove. I'm an author of 51 books, and I have written various movies as well. I'm a ghostwriter as well. I've written Knee Deep, which is my first movie, Curved Under the Mistletoe, Thicker the Berry, The Sweeter the Juice, and Distinguished Robbers. Those last two will be coming out very soon. And I'm Hankin with Hankin TV. Have a blessed day.
New year, new money, big blessings, same haters. It's all mine. Big motion.
Crap. Hey man, this your boy Kimo Ginobili, Mr. Private Eye, the one-eyed bandit. Goddamn, I can't stand it. The walking gas station, man. And right now we on the highway, man. Y'all know I'm Hankin with Hankin TV, man. Trap, straight like that.
How you whores doing today? I ain't want none. I just came to tell you I was back, bitch.
What's up? What's going on? What we doing? Huh? Is we condoning in this? Is this what y'all call gangster? What we doing?